And our goal was oversight to make sure that we can see how people are being treated. I come back very, very concerned about human rights violations and about a culture of cruelty. And so it's appropriate that we would all be here together to have this conversation. I do have on my website photos and video. We were very persistent about getting the video. We were, I think, the first congressional delegation that's been able to get in with our phones. We had a legal opinion from our House Legal Counsel that this is our oversight function. I believe that journalists should be able to be inside and to take whatever pictures and video will bring this story to the it's not an exaggeration to say that in my lifetime, this is one of the worst human rights violations that I certainly have become aware of. We visited in McAllen, Texas, in the facility that is now known to most people as the Icebox, but these are the very troublesome videos that if you look on my colleague Jim McGovern, who was with us, and I also have pictures of it, very, very, very crowded men jammed into cell blocks, cement. They're so crowded now that there's no place to lie down. So if they're resting at all, they have to stand or sit. There's no mats or anything else, it's just cement. And we learned yesterday that some of these men had been in there for 40 to 60 days. They had not been able to bathe, they had not had showers, they were fed, but not in a robust way, as you can imagine. And the only toilet is in the cell with all of the people. So that was the most troublesome thing. The only good news that we saw was a year ago when I was there was when they were first separating the children from their families. And we had met with 40 women whose children had been essentially kidnapped by our government. That is no longer happening, but children are being separated from aunts, uncles, grandparents. So Beto will probably get into it in more detail. We went to the facility in McAllen that they call the dog pound with the chain link fence, and I have lots of pictures and video online if you want to see what that looks like. Luckily, the families are being moved through more quickly, and they are being released in many cases to nonprofit agencies that are then helping them to connect with their sponsored families across this country and coming by bus to reunite with their family, and then they will have their asylum hearing. So I'm just so grateful that Beto is bringing this conversation to all of you, and we will be having more conversations to come. My role today, in addition to singing the praises of my dear friend and colleague Beto O'Rourke, we came in together in the class of 2012. We actually sat together on the House Veterans Affairs Committee. He is compassionate, he is knowledgeable, and he is really a fighter. I've watched him go to bat for veterans, and I've watched him go to bat for new Americans. He comes from the community of El Paso. He'll talk a lot about that, but he's very, very knowledgeable about these issues. They're complex, and we have to find balance.